The Journey Toward Truth, Part 1. Does life have meaning without truth? Does life have any real meaning without truth? Can a wise and intelligent person truly bear a life that has no outcome? A life that ends only in nothingness? Is it possible for a rational human being not to ask, where did I come from? What am I supposed to do here? And where will I go in the end? Imagine suddenly opening your eyes and finding yourself in the upper floors of a strange building. Would you simply stay there without checking if the building is stable and secure, just because the view from the height looks beautiful? Of course not. None of these scenarios is rational. A thoughtful person cannot abandon life's fundamental questions just for the sake of temporary pleasures, like eating, reproducing, or entertainment. They need to know where they came from, where they are going, and the purpose behind the journey. If they cannot find any answer, the path leads only to darkness and despair, and no rational person would accept a meaningless, empty existence. Such a person would quickly bring their life to an end. But if they do discover a valuable truth, one that gives a clear and convincing answer to those fundamental questions, then they will continue life with energy, passion, and hope. Part 2. How can we be sure truth exists? It's actually not difficult to show that the world is not empty of truth. If there were no truth at all, the only option left would be nothingness and darkness. And in such a case, no rational human being would ever continue living. Now, if we assume the world truly had no truth, we would also have to accept that no intelligent person has ever lived or is living now. But we know that's not the case. So the conclusion is clear. There must always have been some form of truth, something that has convinced human beings in different degrees to keep on living. Of course, this doesn't mean that everyone has discovered the complete truth. Rather, it means that everyone, to some extent, and through certain signs, realizes that truth exists, and that realization is enough to give them a reason to move forward. Part 3. Why seek truth, and what is its nature? Now that it's clear the world cannot be without truth, the next question is, what exactly is this truth? And how can we discover it? The truth of life is a priceless treasure. Throughout history, human beings have searched for it in many different ways. But is this treasure material or physical? The answer is no. If truth were material, people would have already displayed it openly, and there would be no endless debates about its nature. For example, if truth were like gold, then at least everyone would know what it is, and people wouldn't be chasing after anything and everything that claimed to be truth. So truth must be an inner treasure, something hidden within each individual, something each person must discover for themselves, while also allowing others to find it in their own way. That's why truth is not an external possession. It is an inner awakening. Part 4. 12 signs for recognizing truth. Truth cannot simply be handed to someone from the outside, but there are signs that can guide us. By paying attention to these, the genuine seeker can move closer to the real thing. These can be summarized in 12 important signs. 1. Truth must be rational. It cannot be irrational, childish, or opposed to reason. Since humans are defined by reason, only a truth aligned with reason can awaken them. 2. Truth must be beautiful. An ugly truth is no better than no truth at all. Truth must be beautiful so that the search for it is meaningful. 3. Truth must be unlimited. A limited truth could never satisfy a being whose desires and potential know no limits. Truth must therefore be infinite. 4. Truth must be accessible. If truth were infinitely far away, beyond our reach, we could never seek it. Real truth must be near and accessible, though hidden, waiting to be discovered. 5. Truth must be powerful. Anything that needs our protection cannot be real truth. Truth must be strong in itself. In fact, the strongest. 6. Truth must be eternal. A truth that once did not exist, or that will one day cease, cannot be truly valuable. Real truth must last forever. 7. Truth must be giving. A worthy truth shares its qualities, reason, beauty, power, eternity, meaning, with the one who discovers it. The seeker becomes part of the truth itself. 8. Truth must be just. Truth cannot reveal itself unfairly, giving itself to the unworthy and hiding from the sincere. Real truth acts with justice and shows itself to those who deserve it. 9. Truth must be fruitful. Even if truth were beautiful and noble, if it had no real benefit for the seeker, it would lose its value. Truth must equip us with the strength to fulfill our deepest needs. 10. Truth must be unique. The highest value of truth lies in its oneness. If there were two or more truths, their worth would diminish. Just as we value a treasure more when it's one of a kind, so too is truth infinitely precious because it is unique. 11. Truth never becomes old. Real truth is always alive and fresh. It never loses its beauty. And it is always a step ahead of our growth and the growth of the world. 12. Truth is the beginning and the end of everything. It existed before all else. Everything depends on it, and it will remain after all else ends. Like the foundation of a building that stands both before construction and after collapse, truth is both the first and the last. Part 5. Truth is God. Looking back at all these qualities, it becomes clear that they are, in fact, the very signs of God. It is God who is eternal and beautiful. It is God who is giving and near. It is God who is just and unique. God is the beginning and the end of all things, and He never becomes old. Yes, truth is God. But this God, with all these qualities, is a treasure hidden within each of us. Unless we awaken, we will never discover it. And this is why those 12 signs matter so much. They guide us in recognizing the existence of God, the genuine truth, among countless false gods and fake truths. Through them, we can uncover the treasure that has always been within us from the very beginning.
The content you just listened to is part of the teachings of Sayyid Saeed Tagavi Zadeh in the field of theology and the pursuit of true happiness. These teachings are interconnected, so many of the unclear points will become clearer in the upcoming episodes. For this reason, it is important to follow the series from the beginning in order to fully benefit from its inner value. Additionally, there will be separate programs dedicated to answering frequently asked questions. Until the next episode, goodbye and may God be with you.